Keyframing is one of the most basic and essential techniques you need to learn if you want to work with visual effects. You'll use it in pretty much every project you ever make. There have been several HitFilm tutorials on keyframing, but there hasn't yet been one dedicated to one of the newer features, the value graph. This tool was introduced in HitFilm 4 and is available in both the Pro and Express versions. Today we'll be looking at how it works and how you can use it to improve your animations. I'm Javert Valbar for inScapeDigital.com. Let's get started. Here I have a simple animation of a soccer ball bouncing up and down. It looks very choppy and not too realistic. Coming down to the transform properties reveals that the keyframes are currently set to linear, which is the default. For comparison, I have this second animation with the same motion, but I use the value graph to adjust the movement. The ball hangs in the air before it drops down, which makes it look more fluid and lifelike. Viewing both side by side shows you the difference in timing. Let's focus on the first soccer ball and try to get it looking like the second. To activate the graph, click on the value you want to display, in this case position, and then click on the value graph button. Here you can see a visual representation of the keyframes for the ball's position. The position property has two values, x and y. In the graph, the red line represents x, and the green line represents y. Over here on the left is the number 0, and if you scroll up and down, you'll notice the number increments by 500. These numbers represent the values that you see in the control panel and in these properties. If you find that you've scrolled too far and have lost sight of the lines, click this magnifying glass to zoom in to the correct position. But what is this graph telling us? Let's start with the red line, the x position. It's flatlining at 0, which means it doesn't move left or right throughout the entire sequence. This can be a bit confusing, but if I come to this first keyframe and move it up, I'm increasing the x value, which will move it to the right. If I move it down, it'll move left. If I move it left or right, I'm changing the time at which it occurs, just like if I was on the normal timeline. The green line, the y position, is a bit more interesting. Unlike the x, moving a keyframe up or down will literally move it that way in the viewer. At the beginning here, I have it set to -275, and that is also shown by reading the side numbers. It's a little over halfway between 0 and -500. Over time, the ball will move up and down. You can tell the jumps are getting bigger because of the position of the keyframes. The movement is choppy because the keyframes are currently set to linear. I know this because the lines between them are completely straight. The animation is moving straight from one point to another. No curves means no slowing down or speeding up. It's taking the shortest route between 2 points. Now that we understand the motion, how can we make it better? I know that in real life, when you throw something up in the air, it tends to hang for a second before coming back down. On the value graph, we can see where the ball is in the air. I'll start with the big jump at the end. Click the keyframe, then convert it to manual Bezier. Playing the video back reveals that a smooth motion has been applied to the ball for that particular jump. The graph now also shows two handles on either side of the keyframe. What was previously a sharp angle has become rounded. Reading the line from left to right tells you that over time, the values are changing differently than when they were linear. I can extend it by grabbing the handle and pulling it to the right. Now the ball will slow down even further before quickly falling back to its original position. If you want both sides of the keyframe to be affected by pulling the handles, right-click and checkmark Lock Temporal Control Points. I'll highlight these other two keyframes and convert them to manual as well. In this case, it's pretty much given the exact motion that I want. That's not always going to happen, so knowing how to adjust the curves will help you if you need to fine-tune your animation. I've also keyframed the rotation for the soccer ball. Let's take a look at that by clicking the value. It's a bit easier to look at since there is only one number to adjust. My rotation starts at 0 and goes to 360 by the end, which HitFilm shows as 1 times. These keyframes are both set to linear, Let's change them to manual. The automatic setting is similar to the smooth keyframe, where it will start slow, get faster near the middle, and slow down again near the end. If I wanted it to start even slower, I would drag this handle to the right. In order to compensate, it'll have a quick motion right at the end. The value graph will take some getting used to, but it's a valuable tool for improving the motion of your animations or visual effects shots. Don't forget to turn on motion blur as well before exporting. Let me know if you have any questions below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.